Believe it or not, building a better battery is now cool. No better sign of that than Tesla boss Elon Musk announcing he'll start building lithium-ion batteries to fuel his electric cars. Tesla is at the helm of what's turning into a race for better energy storage. Other companies think they can beat lithium-ion by using cheaper materials and manufacturing, not just to power cars, but to harness renewable energy like wind and solar and make the world's electricity infrastructure more resilient and reliable. It's a tall order, but some say it could develop into a trillion-dollar industry. As Ali reports, it takes money, patience, and a little bit of good old-fashioned showmanship.
If I could boost this nation's electricity production by 30% without having to build one power plant, who's not going to cheer about that? They got lower electricity bills and cleaner air.
Donald Sadoway doesn't mince words. He thinks his idea for a new battery is the best of a dozen companies vying for the market. He invented Ambri's liquid battery, made up of 2 liquid metals and a salt solution.
Our technology is a high-temperature battery. It accepts electrical current from the grid, stores it, and can return it back when it's needed.
Each company has a unique combination of ingredients that make up its battery that it believes will set it apart from the rest. Big-name investors are seeding the industry with big money and placing their bets on which company will hit the winning formula.
We look at this as a multi-trillion-dollar market opportunity annually, a multi-trillion-dollar market opportunity. It is literally of that nature with success.
For Ambri, it's got the backing of Bill Gates and the French energy company Total. Industry experts say the right battery will change the face of how the world generates and uses electricity.
The technology that I would compare it most closely with is refrigeration. Refrigeration revolutionized the supply chain for food. Storage is sort of like refrigeration for the grid. It actually provides a great deal of resilience to the supply chain.
It's an industry with big potential, but the battery itself serves a simple function: to store energy. There are plenty of other batteries that exist today to do exactly this, but they're either too expensive or not reliable enough. The perfect battery could store solar and wind power as it's being made and integrate it into the larger power grid. It would be a game changer for renewable energies.
Now we can make wind and solar part of base load, so you can draw electricity from the sun when the sun doesn't shine. You can draw electricity from the wind when the wind doesn't blow. That's a powerful idea.
Batteries could also go into the basements of skyscrapers or provide backup power and store renewable energy for entire neighborhoods. And the biggest challenge of all, batteries so powerful and reliable they could actually replace power plants.
There's not a warehouse where you store electricity.
Here's something you may not know about electricity. It's made in real time.
As the generators are producing the electricity, when you flip the switch, that's happening all in real time.
Remarkably, much of the grid is built to supply power for just a few days during the hottest days of the year when air conditioners are on full blast.
Literally in America, the median peaking turbine, that's a simple cycle turbine, is running only 2% of the time.
But a battery could serve as an energy warehouse, storing up electricity at night when demand isn't that high, and then spitting it out during peak hours when everyone turns on their lights.
By eliminating that peaking generation, by using energy storage, ultimately could save some dollars.
Power companies like New York's Con Edison are paying close attention to the new technology. It's working with several battery companies, including Ambri. But the race to produce the perfect battery is still in full force.
At this point, may the best technology win.
Ali Vesli, Al Jazeera.
Ambri hopes to deliver batteries from its first factory by the end of 2015 or early 2016. But it could be years, even a decade, before these batteries are widely used. Of course, it remains to be seen how all of this will shake out, or if Tesla, which is gaining big momentum with the lithium-ion battery, will take all the chips. Joining me tonight from Boston, Susan Tierney, a senior advisor and an energy expert for the Analysis Group, a consulting firm, joins us. Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Jen.
So what are the chances that Tesla is going to take all of this? I mean, they certainly get a lot of ink, and Elon Musk is a great salesman and showman. What do you think?
Well, they've certainly got a lot of horsepower in their project, but I do think that there's a real diversity of types of storage and battery technologies out there. It's hard to think that any one company is going to win the whole shebang.
So there is a diversity of it out there. Can you tell me what exactly differentiates a battery, so like Ambri's, the liquid battery, and then the lithium ion from Tesla? Why would we need two different kinds?
Well, batteries have really different functions, some of it, and different attributes. Some of them are very heavy. You don't want to move them around, so you would not want to put one of those in a motor vehicle, for example, like a Tesla. Other batteries have the ability to draw power in and out quickly. Other ones draw and absorb their stored power very slowly. So those different kind of functions have different utility to the electric grid. And so it's the capabilities of the technology itself will determine where it might be placed in a building, in a basement, where it doesn't matter how heavy it is, versus in a motor vehicle that's going to be running on electricity in the future.
So is part of the reason that people say this could be $1 trillion because there's so many different applications for it? Because when you hear in the piece how lucrative an industry they think this could be, do you put such a big dollar sign there as well?
Well, I think there's a very, very large growth of the combination of renewable energy around the world and battery storage technology. The two of them in combination are just a marvelous thing if we can get these to work commercially and economically. Picture parts of India and Africa where there is not really electricity that's connected to villages. Those folks aspire to standards of living that many of us have around the country, around the world, and having electricity as part of that. If you could get local renewable supply from small-scale wind turbines or solar power, solar systems on village roofs, plus batteries, you would provide them with the ability to have refrigeration and lighting and a variety of other things that would make a tremendous difference in their lives. So when you combine that kind of market in developing countries on top of developed countries that really do have to shift off of fossil fuel and get to a cleaner supply, battery storage and other kinds of storage technologies are truly game-changing.
What do you think the timeline here for this is to make real changes in the industry here and in the developed world? And who will come first, actually?
Well, we're seeing a lot of developed countries like Germany and the U.S. in many parts of this country are already moving tremendously forward with wind power and solar power. And as you heard in the piece with Ali, when the wind isn't blowing, you're not getting power from those resources. And so if you look at California, for example, tremendous number of households are and big box stores and a variety of others are already putting a lot of solar photovoltaic panels on their roofs. And as people do that, and you want to be able to store that so you can use that at night, you would start to see battery storage technology coming into the market. The place that's going to come first is in parts of the country where it's very expensive or where they're very remote. And think of Hawaii as a great country, right. A great example. Hawaii uses oil for most of its electricity supply. It has great renewable energy, and it's expensive there. So battery storage technology would be just a tremendous niche. And as you would start to penetrate those kinds of markets, you would then see volumes growing and manufacturing improvements accompanying that.
And then that would bring down those prices. All right, Susan Turney, Senior Advisor of the Analysis Group, thanks so much for joining.